Hello buddy, I'm Morten Skaalvik. I'm one of the concept artists on Overwatch, and today I'm going to walk you guys through how to draw Roadhog. He's one of my favorite characters just because of how big and expressive he is, and because I do a lot of skins for Overwatch, I really like to kind of play with those big shapes. So yeah, let's just kind of jump into it. So the first thing I want you to do is to get a piece of paper, get a pencil, and just kind of draw a big circle. You probably want to place it like in the center of your paper. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle, it just have to be something to start with. Let's go here. And then I'm going to draw kind of lines like these. These are kind of just lines to decide where the face is pointing. So you can almost think about like two eyes over here, kind of like this. Then I want you to get your eraser out and kind of just erase over this, so it becomes, because this is what we call this your guidelines. So we don't want this to be a huge, we don't want this to be very visible for your final drawing. Like this, just so you can see it, but not very clearly. And for the next step, I want you to kind of go all the way around over there, this area, and just draw like a nice line like this. And then we go down over here. And you kind of follow your guideline over here, and you go up over here, and then down like this. Down here. This one you go out a little bit over here. And then we're just going to connect these two lines. Clean this up a little bit. There you go. Now for next step, we want to add kind of his big circular eyes. It's really, because he's wearing a mask, he has really big circles for the eyes. You're just going to add them over here. And then for the ones over here, you kind of go out like this. And down like this. Looking at it now, I think I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Better. And then we draw the circle inside over here. We want it to be, the circle over here, we don't want it to be perfectly in the center, we want it to be a little higher up. So something like this. And we're going to draw his head. So the head, we can again kind of follow this circle that we have. Here. And down like this. Then we add this little neck over here. Up like this. And for next step, we're going to add these kind of tubes that I have over here on this mask. So over here too, we're just going to do one line drawing like this, one out like that, one out like here. Just circle over here. If you want to, you can just draw like a big circle here too, and kind of erase in as you go. You can do the same over here, so you draw like one big circle. And then a line. Then we just connect these with another circle. And then a little circle with Then we go to the air, and for the air you can kind of think about it as like a teardrop shape. You just want to do like this, and like this. Time this, and like this. Just kind of raise this. And the next step is going to be his hair. So for the hair, again, he has this kind of like tie to keep things together. So we'll draw that first. And we're going to use the same technique as we're doing with these two. Just going to draw one line, and one line, and then connect them. And for the hair, kind of same shape as the hair, we're going to draw 3 of these kind of teardrop shapes, and that's going to make his hair. So we go up like this, and like this. So again, up like this, and like this. Up like this, in like this, up like this, in like this. And for next step, we're going to start adding some details on this guy. I think the first thing we want to do is going to add the stitches on the mask. So you see this line we have over here on your guidelines. You want to do that again, slightly further out, something like over here. And then he also has one over here, kind of making his kind of grumpy mouth. And then one over here. Next thing you want to do is you want to erase over these, because we're going to add the stitches now. So you erase over here, erase over here, and then erase over here. And you're kind of adding these kind of shapes in here. Getting these shapes in here. Don't be fancy too, you can add some little dark areas underneath here. And for the next step, you're gonna add some more detail to this guy. So for that, we want to just draw a circle in here. You're gonna make a big cross over here. Do this. And this. And you just erase this. And draw a circle in the center over here. Oh, forgot to add stitches over here. So let's do the same technique we did over here for these two over here. Just erase 2 places over here, and then add 1 stitch over here, and 1 stitch over here. The next step is just to add a little bit of details on the ear, and then the nose stitches. So for nose stitches, you just want to do 1 line like this, and 1 line like this. And then you add a little triangle on the bottom over here. And what you're going to do is going to draw like a line going from this part to over here. Like this. Again, there's a little line so over here. There. Then we're going to fill in some dark shadows. So the dark shadows, we're going to fill in these guys. Fill in this. And fill in this whole eye as well. I'm just going to use my magic of Photoshop and just kind of fill this in. And just erase a little bit over there so it looks like reflected light. And then I'm going to fill in over here too. Oh. Little gap over there. Fill it up. Just clean up. I'm just gonna add a little bit more shadows over here, make it look nice and good. If you want to be super fancy too, you can add some lines kind of for his hair. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a simplified version of Roadhog. So yeah, I hope you guys follow along. I hope you guys get a good result in your Roadhog. I really recommend guys to watch some of the other people doing this as well, like Arnold, Andrew, and Q. They're really talented artists, and I bet they have some really good drawings to show. And yeah, goodbye everybody.